This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to Google or whatever it is.
The next day.
I have serious FOMO from that interview that Poppy did.
I'm jealous.
Poppy is at NBA All-Stars Weekend. It is going to be so good. We have so many good moments from that, including that full interview there. Good morning, everyone. Audie Cornish is here at the desk with us this morning. Dawn has the day off. Poppy, as you can see, is in Utah for the NBA All-Star Game. So we will get to much more of that in a moment.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about Dummy Don Lemon again. Because like I predicted, probably like a couple months ago, maybe, I don't even know if it was a couple months ago, maybe a month ago. I do so many videos, I can't even keep track of when I actually did this video. But one of my recent videos about Don Lemon and the failing ratings of his new promotion / demotion on CNN this morning, I said that Don Lemon is about to get fired. Okay, this guy is literally about to get fired. Okay, there are reports of Don Lemon and his female co-host not necessarily getting along, because Don doesn't like to be interrupted. Okay, his female co-hosts were interrupting him, and then he ended up yelling at one of them and walking off of set. Okay, apparently they don't like each other. Now that kind of came to the light once again when yesterday Donna made some comments that has been smeared as sexist. Okay, Don basically said that a woman is in her prime in her ages 20, 30, 40, or whatever, when he was trying to attack Nikki Haley. Now, clearly his female co-host didn't like it, and again, there was a media storm against Don Lemon. Everybody came together, left and right, to call Don Lemon sexist.
This is something that I have faced all of my life. If it was Don Lemon yesterday, it was Whoopi Goldberg the day before, there will be somebody else tomorrow. I have always made the liberals' heads explode. They can't stand the fact that a minority conservative female would not be on the Democratic side, because they know I pull independents. They know I pull suburban women. They know I pull minorities over to what we are trying to do. And look, he made that comment. I wasn't sitting there saying sexist middle-aged CNN anchors need to have mental competency tests, although he may have just proven that point. What I was saying is we need to be transparent. Those elected officials that are making key decisions for us Americans on national security and keeping our kids safe and the debt, yes, we need to know exactly that we're sending people that are mentally competent to do that.
Right, now here's the thing. Me personally, I don't really think what Don Lemon said was that inaccurate, okay? I just think that he said it for the wrong topic, okay? I mean, what Don was saying about women being in their primes in their 20s, 30s, 40s, or whatever, I think definitely applies when you're talking about women and their ability to, bear children or their looks or whatever. I think he's 100% right if that is what he was talking about, right? But the conversation was about Nikki Haley running for president, and a woman's ability to bear children and their looks really doesn't have much to do with them becoming president of the United States. So with that being said, it was pretty ignorant, okay? It was a very stupid thing to say. Given the context of the conversation, you was on CNN, not the Fresh and Fit podcast, Don. And the unfortunate reality is that based Don Lemon, right, is probably about to get fired from CNN. Okay, he's probably about to get fired. And this story right here, kind of, lends some evidence to my theory here, that Don's days are numbered. Okay, he's about to be out the door, as apparently that rant enraged one of his co-hosts, and he got a really, really, really stern talking to from the boss at CNN, and basically Don's on his last straw, right? Don is about to get fired. Okay, I don't think he's gonna last a whole nother year. The ratings in the tank is clearly not working out for him. But hey, who knows? I gotta say, I think that this is the most entertaining part of CNN, right? Maybe they should keep Don on and let him keep saying stupid stuff like that. Because if he does, I will watch, right? I kind of like base Don Lemon, right? Sexist pig Don Lemon, okay? I like that version of Don much better than I like the race hustling version of Don. So I'm just saying, maybe they should continue to allow Don Lemon on the show and to let the drama play out because, hey, it's an easy way to get viewers, right? I mean, it's not like anybody takes CNN seriously as a news network anyway, so why even try, right? They're thinking about bringing on Charles Barkley, okay? They got Bill Maher on Friday nights now, okay? If you want to be a full-blown entertainment network, just have real-life drama on set with Don Lemon and his 2 female co-hosts, right? Because, I mean, that was pretty entertaining to me, okay? I'm just saying, base Don might be good for ratings, okay? But let's read about this because Don Lemon, it seems, was pulled off of CNN. Okay, he was given a, quote, day off after his sexist comments. Don Lemon was conspicuously absent from CNN this morning on Friday, just 24 hours after he put his foot in his mouth with a sexist comment about 51-year-old Nikki Haley being, quote, not in her prime, prompting co-host Poppy Harlow to walk off the set. Okay, so his co-host walked off set. Right, she got so mad she stormed off set because Don said she was out of her prime. She got offended, which again, it's fascinating. One of the reasons why I'm not as hard on Don as other people because women can go on national TV and say all types of stupid stuff, okay, and nobody criticizes them, right? Nobody has anything to say about it. They can say it about men, they can say it about race, they can say whatever, and nobody cares. Like for example, I bet you guys didn't know that Whoopi made this stupid comment about Tim Scott just a few days ago, and you probably didn't hear about it.
So, Tim Scott, black Tim Scott, right? Because there are 2 Scotts, and I don't know how to differentiate them without a picture. Yeah. So
Rick Scott and Tim Scott?
Rick Scott and Tim Scott. Right. Tim Scott is black, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's about to run, announce his running. They're going to be coming out of the woodwork, so don't just settle.
Yeah, black Tim Scott, right? That is what Whoopi said on national television. Black Tim Scott. Apparently she didn't know that there are not 2 Tim Scotts in Congress. There's only 1 Tim Scott. And yes, he indeed is black. But again, this is just an example of Whoopi's ignorance and how disrespected black Republicans / conservatives are by the mainstream liberal media. I think what Whoopi said was probably more offensive than what Don said, or just as offensive. But again, nobody really cares because Whoopi said it, right? Again, what they say on The View on almost a daily basis is much more offensive or just as offensive as what Don said, and you don't see the same outrage from the mainstream liberal media. So that's why I'm like, hey, I'm not really going that hard on Don for that comment because, quite honestly, there's a little bit of truth to it, depending on what you're talking about. And the cackling hands on The View, the women on The View say much worse things on a daily basis. Again, Don Lemon was pulled off of CNN set the next day for making that comment. Lemon, meanwhile, gave a bizarre, rambling apology to coworkers and earned a scathing rebuke from his boss Friday over the diatribe. Quote, "The people I am closest to in this organization are women," Lemon insisted, according to a transcript of his apology obtained by the Post. Quote, "The people I seek counsel to first in this organization are women. The person I am closest to is my mother, a woman." Now, I think I disagree with that, Don. The person that you're closest to is a white man, which is your husband, okay? The person that you go to sleep with every single night. That's the person you're closest to, Don. Lemon's rant on Thursday has ratcheted up the pressure on CNN boss Chris Licht to fire the former primetime star, the Post has learned. Lemon on Thursday posted a tweet that read, quote, "The reference I made to a woman's prime this morning was artful and irrelevant, as colleagues and loved ones have pointed out, and I regret it." Yeah, Don, you should have been more specific about what you're talking about, right? Because that definitely was not going to go over well. Quote, "A woman's age doesn't define her personally or professionally. I have countless women in my life who prove that every day," Lemon tweeted. Harlow ferociously walked off the set after Lemon's comments about Haley. The incident took place just weeks after Collins was left visibly upset when Don chewed her out in front of her other staffers. Boy, this is going off the rails, bruh. This show is going off the rails. Quote, a well-placed source told the Post that tensions between Lemon, Collins, and Harlow have been smoldering for months. Lemon's latest blow-up could be the final straw that compels Litch to cut ties with the now disgraced anchor. Quote, Chris isn't happy, and he has spoken to Don a couple times today. A network source told the Post on Thursday, Don knows it can't happen again, which means he's on the way out, right? He's on the way out. Litch met with staffers during an informal meeting Thursday. One staffer asked Litch about Don's behavior. Quote, people say stupid things, and that if it's a trend, then there's recourse, a source with knowledge of the situation said, paraphrasing Lynch's comments. CNN did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Lemon did not respond to a request for comment. Harlow did not comment, but a source close to the veteran anchor quipped, as a woman in her prime, Poppy Harlow does use the bathroom, including on Thursday mornings. Yeah, so Don Lemon is not the only news anchor, okay, that is associated with CNN, probably soon about to be formally associated with CNN, that is kind of hitting the wall, right? That's kind of in a midlife crisis. As Fredo, Chris Cuomo, he's apparently going through a midlife crisis as well too after being released from CNN. As in a recent interview, he basically stated that he was going to delete everybody, including himself, after getting fired for defending his brother from the accusations that were levied against him. Take a look.
I have learned to accept it. I had to accept because I was going to kill everybody, including myself. Just because a long time goes away doesn't mean you got to be doing the right things. You got to make things happen. There is no luck. There's no fate. There is no destiny. What happens is what you make happen and how you deal with what is made to happen to you, for better and worse. And, I make a lot of mistakes, sometimes for good reason, sometimes for bad reason. I'm very flawed. There's damage. There's damage that's relatable to people. There's damage that's unrelatable to people that I have to deal with, that I try to deal with, that I do the work on. I still fail.
Yeah, so as you heard there, Cuomo was talking about deleting himself and deleting everybody else because he went from having 1 million viewers on CNN to like 100,000 at News Nation. And it's funny because I literally did a video just a few weeks ago about Chris Cuomo having a mental breakdown in his garage about the fact that he ain't got the juice like that, right? He will never be what he was before. And the reason why is because he wasn't really that talented in the first place, right? You really wasn't that good. You were being held up by a giant multi-billion-dollar corporation, right? If you really had real talent, if you were as good as you thought you were, then you should be able to get viewership no matter where you go. And Chris Cuomo found out the hard way. Don Lemon's about to find out the hard way as well, too. He's about to be on the way out the door. The only reason Don Lemon is not out the door yet is because he's black and he's gay, okay? He got a few infinity stones of wokeness. He's holding on, okay? Because now, if he keeps messing up, they're not going to be able to say that, oh, well, Don was fired because, he's gay or he's black. He can't cry racism or homophobia. They might say that Don was fired because he's a sexist, right? They better get away with it, okay? I'm just saying, a lot of these people on CNN are falling from grace, and it truly is fascinating and quite entertaining to witness. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.